The University of Otago has released two lots of research actually that pretty much say New Zealand parents want to see a restriction or a complete ban of advertising aimed at preschoolers. The first survey was an online survey and it said that 55% of respondents wanted to see actually advertising banned altogether. The second survey was a bit more scientific and it said that 82% of respondents wanted to see a restriction, yet again 56% of people wanted to see a ban on advertisers specifically aimed at preschoolers and I guess young children as well. Altogether it's the eternal question, Dean, are we comfortable with, in society, with multi-conglomerate big corporations targeting our 4-year-olds?
Well, are they really targeting the 4-year-olds? For goodness sake, I mean, a 4-year-old isn't going to rush away to the supermarket and buy a can of Coke just because he or she saw it on TV. I mean, they're really marketing at the parents, thinking, well, that's a good idea.
Well, you might say that, but there is a type of marketing called pester power.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the supermarkets and they give away the cards.
Yeah.
That is actually a term of marketing called pester power.
Right.
And it happens with me and my kids. My kids will see something, all their friends will have the cards.
Yeah.
Dad, can we go to, mention whatever supermarket name you want to put just here?
Yeah.
You know, can we go there? And I'm like, why? And like, because you can get these cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in general, obviously the parents spend the money, but marketing's become a little bit more intelligent these days, where they are actually going to the kids and saying, you need to collect these cards. And the only way you can do it is to come to our shop, and then they pester the parents. But look, the interesting thing is there are some regulations around this, but they are self-regulating, right? So in a self-regulating society, this is what the TV industry does. They regulate adverts between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. This is a Q4 quote, let's back that up. The television industry self-regulates by banning advertising between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., 8:15 to 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. on weekdays. But the research out of Otago shows that the reported peak viewing times for preschool children were 7 to 8, no ban, 4 to 5 on weekdays, and the children were primarily watching between 6 and 9 and 3 to 7 on weekdays. So the industry is going, look, we're regulating, but they're actually regulating outside the peak times anyway, so they're not regulating really.
No, I don't think they are. And of course, I understand the parental pressure, because you were talking about the cards thing with your kids. Well, back in the day, I had to go to buy a certain brand of petrol because they had Smurfs. So I know
that was mobile. I remember that.
Was it mobile?
That was mobile. I remember that in the 80s.
Yeah, we had to go and buy Smurfs, didn't we? And well, petrol so we could get Smurfs. And I understand all that. And there is a quote in the story about out of pressure when money was tight. For goodness sake, the thing that really annoys me about this is 1.25 litre of soft drinks about $1.99 or something, and milk's $2.50. So I mean, it's it's peer pressure. You're quite right.
Let me just say this, and this might put me offside with some people, but we're talking primarily about television advertising. There is other kinds of advertising. There's billboards, there's magazines. But this is primarily about television advertising. Can I just say this right now, that every parent out there has the ability to stop their children from being exposed to television advertising. It's a little red button at the top of the remote control that you can do this and push it, and then your child magically sees no more adverts on the television. I know we're probably not the norm in my family, but my kids basically don't watch television. They watch DVDs. They're not like out of society. They know what's going on. But before school, after school, they don't really watch television. They're doing other things like reading books. You open a book with your 4-year-old, there's not an advert for Coca-Cola in there. You know, so I don't disagree with the idea of protecting our kids from it, but I also don't agree with the victim card that a lot of parents do, because you have the power, literally battery operated power in your hand to stop that, and all you got to do is push that little red button.
And I can't remember how I got on before TV came into my household when I was at primary school, but you know, I must have coped somehow. Well, we had the Beatles.